Incidents at the Capitol. 100 years plus. The article was originally written in 2016. For context, hear what I'm telling you. Written in 2016. 101 years of security incidents at the Capitol. Incidents. Dynamite, bombs. Those are incidents to you. Okay. March 28th, 2016. Blog 16/4/2016. How cute. Topics: Congress and gun control. Odd. I've only found one involving guns. Dynamite, bombs. Only one with guns. We'll see where this is going. This is PBS. I get full credit. This is fair use for commentary. And it was written by Dan Cooney. PBS and Dan Cooney. Did you forget 1814? There are guns there, but the British were using them against us. And they came in and they burned the presidential mansion, which is the White House now, the Capitol, the Library of Congress, and several military buildings. They pretty much burnt the town down. That would be the English burning the town down. I wonder who's acting like that now. Are they the English? It may be the blood of the English. Dan Cooney. A man with a gun attempted to enter the U.S. complex was shot and detained by law enforcement officers Monday, which is what most people thought y'all did when people entered the Capitol. Just saying. The alleged gunman, who was known to the Capitol Police because of previous incidents. There y'all go with that word, incidents again. And what, pray tell, previous incidents would that be, I wonder? Reportedly pointed the weapon at police officers at the entrance to the underground visitor center on the east side of the Capitol building. The suspect was wounded in the shooting and taken to the Washington hospital. Well, see, police just injured him. I'll have to look that up just for y'all's curiosity, because I know y'all will ask. Today's incident shows why the Capitol, like every government building in Washington and across the country, requires extensive security and safety measures. In the last century, however, there have been attacks within the building known as the People's House. Well, you admit it's the People's House. The JewishPress.com confirms this did happen on March 28th, 2016, so that would be more recent than 98. And this would be guns involved, so that's 2 now. Alright, and they say one Capitol police officer was shot, not seriously, Monday afternoon at the Capitol Visitor Center in Washington, D.C. The shooter was taken into custody, Capitol Police reported. According to CNN, one person tried to enter the White House illegally. Yeah, that's pretty much, we thought you would do that. A U.S. Capitol Police source told CBC News that the shooter wasn't being transported to the hospital. There were no additional suspects. D.C. police tweeted that the shooting was a single, isolated incident and that the threat to the public had been lifted. Emergency vehicles packed the street and the plaza on the eastern side of the building. Armed police cordoned off the streets around the building. And we kind of need to follow up on that and see what happened to this gentleman. The shooting at the U.S. Capitol, a gunman was shot. A female bystander received minor injuries. The Capitol Police described the incident as an act of a single person. By Krishnadev Kalamur. Update, March 28th at 4:56 p.m. Eastern Time. I couldn't find a more recent update, nor could I find a picture of the person. And only speculation of the name. A gunman who drew and pointed a weapon at the Capitol Visitor Center Northern Screening Facility was shot Monday, said Matthew R. Verdosa, the Capitol Police Chiefs of Police, prompting a lockdown of the Capitol complex. Verdosa called the incident an act of a single person, not more than a criminal act. Did he just say not more than a criminal act? Then why have pretty much no more updates been published? And why is there no picture of this Larry guy? Very interesting questions we have for you, sir. The incident occurred at 2:39 p.m. Eastern Time, Verdosa said. The as-yet unidentified gunman, who the chief said was known to police officers through previous contact. Well, now you're having contact, not incident, so okay. I'm tripping on my tongue for the stuttering, but just get over it. Was arrested and taken to the hospital where he was undergoing surgery. His condition was unknown, Verdosa said, adding a weapon was recovered from the scene. No charges have been filed yet, he said. Were they ever? Multiple news organizations, including NBC and ABC, oh, here we go, citing unidentified sources, always unidentified sources, named the alleged gunman Larry Dawson of Tennessee. Dawson was previously arrested at the Capitol last October after he shouted, "I am the prophet of God." Did you really say that, Mr. Dawson? How hubristic of you. From the balcony of the U.S. House of Representatives. So you got in and up to the House of the Representatives and up to the balcony. And they didn't try you for sedition or insurrection. Or did they? And they didn't tell us. 'Cause you have disappeared off the face of the map, Mr. Dawson. A female bystander, ages between 35 and 45, received minor injuries, the chief added. No officers were injured, he said, and it is unclear how many officers fired at the gunman. Seems like you'd have an idea. The police officers would know if they fired their gun. News reports in the immediate aftermath of the incident suggested an officer had been shot. So they were wrong with their initial reports. Capitol Police, which is responsible for the security of the Capitol complex, placed the complex on lockdown. Citing a potential security threat. Staff inside the complex were told to shelter in place. So it wasn't the OC's first time to hear that. The lockdown was lifted at 3:40 p.m. A shelter-in-place issued to those inside the building was also lifted. The Capitol was open for official business only. The Capitol Visitor Center remained closed. It will reopen Tuesday, the chief said. So does anybody want to know who Larry Dawson is? Because I'm kind of curious who Larry Dawson is. I'm kind of curious if he was ever charged. Anybody knows, let me know. Okay, this video is getting long, so this is part 1. Thank you for watching part 1 of 100 years of incidents at the Capitol. And this is only one. There's not many, but there's too many for one video. Thank you for watching. I found Larry, so there'll be an update on number 1. But it'll just be, I found Larry Dawson. TMZ discovered his picture. A couple other places scrubbed his picture. But I found the New York Post archives did not scrub his picture. Stay tuned for an update.